So we're introduced to this dude and he's shooting his shot at a girl. And I'ma be completely honest, if I did not see any TikTok edits or YouTube videos about this anime before I watched it, I would have straight up been a Zenitsu hater too. But luckily I was spared from the hate train and I saw how goated this man was. But Zenitsu and Tanjiro pull up on a haunted house and side character 67 comes flying out of the window. Zenitsu is sitting there shaking in his boots, but Tanjiro is standing on business and low-key he's talking to somebody who should have been dead, because when that dude hit the ground and that splatter of blood came out, no way he was still breathing. But oh my goodness, Zenitsu is just getting on my nerves in this house. How did this man pass final selection? He's probably the same dude who's scared of a cockroach being 3 football fields over from him while he's in a safe, secure spot. He was scared of a crow speaking to him. Now, given that that's not a regular, you guys are fighting demons in the first place. That should be the least of your worries. But he's the reason Tanjiro and side character 68 get teleported to a different room, and he's left to fend for himself while being terrified. This man is a demon slayer, and he's telling the kid that they need to call for help. I'm not gonna lie, if I was Zenitsu's master, I'm telling him I need that sword, I need that kimono, I need your honor on my desk tomorrow morning. Even side character 69 is low-key confused on why this demon slayer, his elder, somebody stronger than him, is shaking in his boots and nothing has happened yet. The scariest thing to come out of this was Inosuke running down the hallway saying coming through, but Zenitsu and side character 69 get rolled up on by a demon. What is Zenitsu doing shaking in his boots? He's crying, he's scared. This demon is about to cook the both of them. And to make matters even worse, this man just went to sleep. But guess what? When bro went to sleep, we finally got the best out of bro so far in the show. He cuts the demon's tongue off without even moving his blade out of its sheath. He then gets up with the most serious expression we have seen him with throughout the entire show so far. He then puts his hand back like he's protecting side character 69, acting like 4 seconds ago he wasn't screaming for help and thinking that they were about to get cooked. He then moves into the coldest stance we see him do, and he cuts the demon's head clean off, but when he wakes back up, he ruins the episode. He goes straight back to being scared. He thinks side character 69 killed the demon, and now he's glazing him and he's moving like a loser again. But when they finally leave the haunted house, Zenitsu finally stands on business. Inosuke's talking about oh, I smell a demon in there, I'm finna slime it out, I'm finna kill that demon. But Zenitsu isn't having that. He said, Tanjiro told me to protect this box, so I'm finna protect the box. And he takes belt straight to his behind, but he does it in honor, so it's cool. Zenitsu is not a bum for this. Tanjiro then mixes Inosuke in a 1. Zenitsu finds out that it's a girl in the box, and he goes back to being the loser he is. But don't think Zenitsu's moving on no sweet stuff since he found out about Nezuko. When they get called up to the forest on their military orders, Zenitsu is split from Tanjiro and Inosuke, leaving Zenitsu with the ugliest demons I think we have seen and will ever see. Ain't these little spider things remind you of the thing from Toy Story? I just absolutely hated these things, and I was glad when they got cooked. But of course, Zenitsu was scared at first, but then he falls asleep and he gets straight to mixing. He is not sweet. He's fallen from the tree, starting his breathing technique just to farm aura. I don't even know why he waited to do it this late. Dashes for the ugly spider brother, dodges poison somehow mid-air. We get some backstory of Zenitsu saying he was a bum and he can only do one form, but he mastered that one form. He talks about how his sensei never abandoned him, yada yada yada. Dude continues to dodge all of these attacks until he spits up some blood and we think he's about to get cooked. And dude just got a massive throbbing pimple on his hand. I know that one doctor would love to pop that junk. And he gets swarmed by these little egg-headed creatures. If I had 100 of these things crawling on me like he did, just take me out of this earth. I'm not fighting anymore. Just lay me to rest right then and there. But he blasts every single one of them off, and he's not just going thunderclap and flash first form, he's going thunderclap and flash with the 6-fold added on top. ugly spider leader starts shaking. He's saying, yo, this dude is making the air vibrate. Rocks around Zenitsu are flying up. The form was so strong, it got him to fall off of his string. Older ugly spider gets serious. He shoots venom at dude. Dude vanishes. He starts zipping around the forest for the fun of it, and he jumps off of a web for the fun of it. Bro then ricochets off of every single tree in the vicinity, slashes through the top of the building, and hits the classic anime moon pose. He ain't even need to do all that for the finisher. He did that jump for the love of the game. Then bro falls on the roof and looks like he's on the verge of death until Shinobu pulls up and gets Brody right. But moving on to the next season on the Mugen train, Zenitsu was sleeping for half of the season. And guess what? Bro's still sleeping when he finally pulls up, but that's just how he locks in. Dude scales what looks like the entire train just to get to Nezuko cause she's in danger, cuts all the flesh grabby tentacles, whatever they are, off of her, and then proceeds to use that first form again just to cut more stuff that we honestly didn't even see, and then goes back to thirsting for Nezuko. And I kid you not, that's literally all he did the entire season. Bro contributed absolutely nothing to this season. He locked in for one occasion and then he was gone for the rest of it. Hey, and I know this is about Zenitsu, but props to Tanjiro. Bro was literally in his heaven and he had to cut himself to get out of it multiple times, and he did it multiple times. But before we get to Entertainment District and we actually get to meet Tengen himself, he's kidnapping all these girls. Fast forward from all that because we low-key don't care. But tell me why when Tanjiro told him that we can go instead of the girls, we had this man Zenitsu hop on top of the fence, pose for no reason. The wind is blowing and all. Inosuke does the same exact thing. They then jump and cross each other and pose one last time before staring down Tengen. None of this was necessary. They were literally just clip farming here. And of course Zenitsu was starting the season off being annoying. This is nothing new. Tengen talks about his 3 wives and Zenitsu starts getting jealous, so he gets hit with a well-deserved gut punch. And after they're all dressed like girls and sent to their respective homes, Zenitsu is the last one to find an actual house that will take him in. Tengen literally told the owners of the house that he will pay them to take Zenitsu in, and even the other girls in the house are trashing on Zenitsu's looks. He's just losing aura by the minute here. But of course it's not long before Zenitsu locks in. While he's walking around the crib depressed, probably broke, and has no girls to his name, he stops and hits the "a girl is crying," and he goes to the room to see what's going on. So basically he walks in the room and tries to comfort the girl, but another girl pulls up to the room and appears behind him. Zenitsu is shaking in his boots right now. He feels the aura running down his spine. From what he hears alone, he can tell that this is an upper moon. This man is shaking. He's sweating bullets. The other girls come in clutch, saving bro. He comes up with a false rebuttal, and then his looks start getting inflamed. She says to bro, "Why are you so hideous?" If I'm Zenitsu, I'm pulling my blade out on the spot. That's just me though. She then picks the little girl up by her ear and she starts bleeding. Zenitsu usually only locks in while he's sleeping, but nah, he's awake for this. He grabs her arm and he looks up, wide awake, and tells her to please let go. Bro then proceeds to get slapped 2 rooms over through doors, walls, whatever, and he's laying there knocked out. And then basically Zenitsu gets wrapped up and captured, and then the episode cuts to black, so we can't even really see what's going on. But when Inosuke is fighting the belt in the cave, guess who pulls up out of nowhere? Not really nowhere, because we saw him stuck in the belt. But he's sleeping, and he sleep for the rest of the season, so that can only mean one thing. He wants that smoke. He uses thunderclap and flash 6-fold, cuts every part of the belt, and then falls flawlessly through the sky. Even Inosuke is saying, yo bro, you should honestly stay asleep because you way better sleeping than you are awake. But then fast forward after Aura Lord Tengen saves the day, but then fast forward a little more, Inosuke is being the annoying one right now. Zenitsu is locked in, he's trying to hear where the battle is, and Inosuke is over here swinging his arms looking like a big dummy. Zenitsu starts going in the direction of the battle, no words said, no questions asked, he's going. If he was awake, he would not have been doing this. But they're all about to get on that timing here shortly. I'ma go ahead and assume Zenitsu heard a shift in the tone of her voice, so he prepared in a battle stance, and he takes Daki's dumb self clean out the building. Everyone's throwing hands with someone at this point, but Zenitsu has to take time and pause. He tells Daki, yo, you better go ahead and apologize to that girl or we gonna have an issue. I don't even know why he asked this. She's not apologizing, bro. And they get straight back to throwing hands like that conversation didn't even happen. While Zenitsu and Inosuke are going against Daki, Inosuke peeps that Tengen is about to decapitate Gyutaro. Yeah, for sure. He's really about to cut his head off. So then Inosuke starts going on a rampage trying to get to Daki. Zenitsu is the one to tell Inosuke to calm down, and this is something that I never thought I would see. He then almost gets wrapped up, but Zenitsu's on that, nah, I'ma just cut it without even moving my sword for y'all to see. Then Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and Inosuke start moving as a team, not moving in perfect form. You have Zenitsu and Tanjiro deflecting all the obi-side shots that come at Inosuke, and Inosuke is just charging straight through. And Inosuke cuts her head clean off and starts running with it. We think they've beaten Daki, and now all they gotta do is focus on Gyataro, or Gyutaro, however you say it, until he ends up getting stabbed. Slashes appear out of nowhere, and Zenitsu's pushing Tanjiro out the way so he can stay safe. And then we think everybody's cooked. Following the next episode, I'm not going to go into too much detail because this is low-key about Zenitsu. It's not about all of Entertainment District arc unless you want to see that. But yo, these guys are actually in shambles. There is nobody on the screen but Tanjiro. Bro then takes a kick to his gut and goes flying across the destroyed city. We think bro's throwing trash at him and he's about to be the next person added to the cooked list in the Entertainment District. But he's throwing a crazy lob to all of the slaves that are still breathing. First things first, he hits him with that classic Tanjiro headbutt, and he starts sinking that blade in for the cut. And up and out of the rubble, we see lightning start to spark, and Zenitsu comes flying out, and he hits that dumb girl Daki, and he's cooking her. I love to see this. This is the jump that I live to see, bro. But obviously, we have the famous Tengen, Tanjiro, and Gyataro fight, but we don't care about that. We're here for Zenitsu. This man is trying to decapitate Daki, and it's just not working out for bro. That is until Inosuke pulls up on him, cuts the sashes up. Dude's dropping liters of blood as he's falling through the sky, but he then joins his blade with Zenitsu's, and then you have Tanjiro who's cutting Gyataro, and they finally decapitate both of these guys, and the battle is finally over. No, it's not, because they slash up the entire city, and I honestly don't know how they survived this, but they survived. Zenitsu also isn't even in the next season, but his lock-ins inspired Tanjiro so much that he went and used thunder breathing himself. But then we see Zenitsu for the first time since the Entertainment District arc, and he's the same old guy. I mean, nothing special. Dude's still acting scared. That is until he gets his letter from his bird and Tanjiro catches him sitting on a boulder. This dude Zenitsu is now moving like he scored in the top percentile of the state for his classes, and he's above everyone else that speaks to him. And apparently the part where he's falling through the castle is copyrighted, so you know I can't even show that, but if you've seen it, and you know what I'm talking about. So case closed on Zenitsu. Stop playing with my goat.